Hey, beauties, it's Hormone Breakthrough Wednesday. It's just arrived. Today is all about love. So you can dance with her.
Let us rise, 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 like a phoenix from the fire, and we will fly, 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 higher and higher and higher, and we will stand, 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 in solidarity for this sacred land, and we will lead, 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 with compassion for all humanity. Oh, 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 eh, eh, yeah. Oh, oh, oh. Oh, 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 eh, eh, yeah. Oh, oh, oh.
Hey, beauties, this is Robin, and this is Hormone Breakthrough Wednesday, and I am so excited to be here with you. Wow, if you were part of the 15-day hormone reset, then you know that it was amazing, amazing. And I'm missing it already. We had a beautiful call last night with the VIP Lifetime Access ladies. It was so wonderful to see their faces and see some of you who participated, and the things that they love the most was just the beautiful community. There was so much love in there, so much love. And that's what we're going to talk about today is love, because Valentine's Day is coming right up. And it's my favorite day of the year, whether you have a partner, whether you're, all by yourself, which is quite possible. It's still like my favorite day of the year. And I'm wearing this gorgeous, I was trying to decide what to wear today, right? And turns out red is not my color. I'm really bummed about that because I love red. But it's okay. It's okay. It's okay. I'm wearing red today for Valentine's Day. And I was trying to figure out what jewelry to wear. And I'm like, I've got this gorgeous heart that my grandfather made out of a billiard ball. And the billiard balls used to be made out of ivory. And it was, I guess it's the 8 ball. And so he made this gorgeous heart. It's a it's two parts, and then he inscribed on the back. He was an amazing artisan. And so I'm like, yes, I'm wearing my heart today. I'm wearing my red because we're talking about love. And that's one of the things that we learned in the 15-day hormone reset is that we've got to love ourselves. We've got to love every nook and cranny of our bodies, mind, spirit, stop the negative self-talk and really show up in love. And if there's one thing that I've learned in all of my work with other people, getting help myself, it's that when we can be in a place of love and the present moment, more of the time, life is just better, right? Because I used to live in the past, right? My mind was worrying with things that were wrong. And then I'd live in the future, worrying constantly about things. And it wasn't until I got healthier. I got my body healthier. I got my mind healthier. I learned that we've got to focus on what's right and not what's wrong. And learned that I needed to be in a place of love in the present moment more of the time. And that's when my life really shifted for the better a lot. So I have a very special guest for you today, which I'm so excited about. She is the love woman. And I'm going to tell you a little bit about her. Her name is Junie Moon. She was on with me dancing earlier. She's the love coach, and she teaches women in midlife how to magnetize their ideal partner and experience next level love. using her unique heart-centered dating strategies coupled with some powerful mindset tools that helped her magnetize the love of her own life. Women learn to embrace this precious stage of life with confidence, playfulness, and ease. Doesn't that feel so good? Feels so good. Junie's an award winning international speaker, best selling author of Loving the Whole Package, Shed the Shame and Live Life Out Loud. She's director, producer of the film Shed the Shame, host of the podcast Midlife Love Out Loud, which is amazing. And she's a certified shadow work facilitator. You can find her at Coach Junie Moon, JUNI.com. Welcome, Junie.
Thank you. And it's JUNIE, just to make sure if somebody's going, where is it? And I'm so happy to be here. Thank you for having me. And yes, love. Great topic.
Great topic. And Junie, played full out in the 50-day hormone reset. So like she is totally on board with all of the hormonal balancing stuff. And love is a big piece of that. It is a really big piece of that. So Junie, give us a little bit of background on you. Like, how did you become like the love coach?
Similarly to what you were sharing about mindset and not being nice to yourself and all the stuff that you had to let go of to feel better, that's kind of been my journey as well. And what you may not know, I don't think we've talked about this, you and I, that 17 years ago, literally 17 years ago, I was 200 pounds. And I was miserable. I had so much self-hatred. I walked on eggshells in my marriage. I was so scared to rock the boat. I would walk around with knots in my stomach and I was holding back my truth. And I ate a lot of food, comfort food to get me through. And I thought I had a food problem, but what I discovered was it wasn't about the food. I mean, yes, we know the power of food, and certainly eating all the crappy food certainly affected me. However, the food was a symptom of something so much greater. My self-love was, and the inner critic was so loud, and I was terrified to be me. I was so scared to just show up in my relationship or show up in life. And I had done a lot of personal growth work. I had read lots of books, done lots of weekend workshops, but nothing ever stuck and never took place. It never just stuck. That's the word I'm looking for. And then I was always doing diets, but that never really stuck either. And I was rock bottom. And so I found this body of work called shadow work. It's specially designed processes to shine a light on the parts of us that have been shamed, parts of us that we've let go of because, I better not express myself because something bad will happen, or I better not be vulnerable because I might be squashed. And it shifted everything for me. Not only did I lose all the weight and kept it off for 17 years, which is like, oh my God, I found my voice, I found self-care, deep self-love, and I knew I had to share it with other people. So it was a no-brainer. When my son left the house, I'm like, okay, I'm starting over. What do I want to do? And I'm like, I really want to bring this work out into the world and help people love themselves more and have better love lives.
Yeah, that's so true. And gosh, congratulations for like figuring out your stuff and getting your shit together.
Yep.
That's hard. That's hard. And that's amazing. Like that's an amazing story that you stood in your power and you took charge of your health and you took charge of your life and you said, I can totally do this.
Yeah. And I thank you for that. And what I found out that what was harder than the shift was being in the pain and just how I was treating myself and the life that I was living. That was really hard. And once I really hit that rock bottom and found great mentorship, everything changed. And I was able to really put a stake in the ground and say, my life matters and I want love beyond my wildest dreams. And I was able to learn how to find that. But it started with me.
Yeah. Yeah. So I just want to say hello to all of you joining in live. And I want to say hello to those of you who are watching the replay. And what I'd love for you to do is just say hello in the comments here. And I always love to see where you're joining in from. So if you could just say, the state or the city state, that would be wonderful because it's really fun to connect with each other. when we're in similar areas. And I just love to do that, because the more connection we have here, the healthier we're going to be, the more we're going to thrive. And Junie, I'm just going to change our view here so that we're more interview view. What is like one question that we could have the ladies ponder right now about where they are around love, or anything around, yeah, like what would be a powerful question to ask right now around love?
I think to start with, not to post this yet, but to start with thinking, what is it that you're desiring? What is it that you're really, really wanting that you don't have? And then in the comment box, maybe get a little vulnerable and post how you get in your own way. What's one way that you sabotage the very things that you want when it comes to relationships? Do you hold your voice down? Do you not speak up when somebody's stepping on your toes? What is it that keeps you from really feeling fulfilled and happy?
Yeah, I love that. So for me, it was resentment.
Mm.
I was full of resentment and I was righteous about it.
Yeah.
I was like, I have to do everything around here, but I do it because I can do it better than anybody. And you just can't read my mind, and you don't know what I want. And I can't believe it. And I'm really pissed off about it. And so I'll just have to do it myself.
Yeah, I'm sure that was peaceful, huh?
Oh, it was so productive in so many ways.
Ooh.
So I had a wall, right? I had this wall up. It's like, don't touch me. I'm busy getting stuff done. Like,
Yeah.
I have to roll up my sleeves and do all this myself because you don't know what I want or need.
Yeah.
And I was just so like, I was just so holding on to that because, I don't know. It was just like, I was being very right.
Yeah, a lot of us do that. I called myself a micromanaging expert myself, perfectionist. And I did everything myself. The last thing I ever wanted to do was ask my husband, who I'm no longer with anymore, to support me, to help me. That was too scary for me. Like if I really asked, hey, can you help me with this? The history was, I'm not going to get it. It's going to go sideways. I might as well just do everything myself. And so the resentment did build. And then the littlest thing would go off. Maybe I was tired. Maybe it was a hard day, and I would blow. So I was pushing down all of that anger. And then I would find myself beating on his chest because it would just rage. And that's the work I do. Get that rage out, but be able to take the energy of the anger and use it in a healthy way. Because when we're pushing down anger and resentment and shame, it's going to come out in some way. It's going to come out in a behavior. It's going to come out in an illness. So yeah, we might have micromanaged and taken care of everything, but we were swallowing the poison. And then I'll speak for myself. I swallowed the poison and then it would come out really messy, really messy.
It's so messy and it keeps our health stuck.
Yeah.
Because I thought that if I was, resentful and angry and holding on to all my stuff, that it would hurt him.
Yeah.
And that was so silly because it just hurt me, right? It was just me. He had no idea what I was feeling.
Oh my God, right? I mean, I remember putting a laundry basket right on the stairs because it was heavy. And I was doing a million things. So I'm like, I'm going to put it right on the stairs so he'll just bring it up. He stepped over it. And so I would get so angry, but there was also this part of me that just kept hoping he would see how much I was doing, that he would have that understanding of how much I was holding, taking care of the kid. That was a challenging kid, and the home and my business. And it just didn't happen, which then built up the resentment more. And then I felt so disconnected and so unloved, which put me in the food and feeling horrible about myself.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's a vicious cycle.
Yeah. And there's definitely like, I don't know, a part of us that wants to, that needs to be acknowledged, not wants to be acknowledged, that really needs to be acknowledged, but we're not asking for it.
Yeah.
And we're expecting others to know what we want. And so we're going to not do that anymore. Junie's going to going to take a stand for us and say, yeah, we're not doing that. And so that we can, that we can heal and we can have the love in our lives that we want. And it's even just the love for ourselves. So can you talk about how, I mean, obviously, if I was so resentful and projecting all of that crap, I wasn't loving myself very much, because I have this little saying that resentment equals lack of self-care. Right?
Yeah,
so I'm taking you off on a tangent, but does that resonate?
It does. And there's so many pieces there. I love it. So what I usually share with people is, and as you were telling my bio, the word shame kept coming up. Shed the shame, live out loud. And we want that. And yet so much of what we've learned about how to be and how not to be lives in our unconscious mind. So subconsciously, there's all these messages and experiences that have shaped us from when we were little, like the first 7 years of our life, how good little girls are supposed to look, how we're supposed to behave. And that just builds. And then we take that into adulthood, and then we try to cope. We try to fit in. We don't want to fall down. We don't want to be criticized. We don't want to be judged. And then we start to do these behaviors like squash our voice, ask for our needs to be met. And as a shadow worker, what I'll say is the shadow is a part of us that we have said, I better not be like that or I'm going to get hurt. Or I better not be like that because someone else might get hurt. We learned this somewhere along the way. And so we need to take back those parts, but we have to uncover them first. Why are we holding that resentment? And take some of the shame off so we don't beat ourselves up anymore, because we can go, oh my God, I can't believe I'm projecting. I can't believe I'm holding on to this behavior for all these years. Well, why is that? Because there's a part of you. We all have it. We call it the risk manager. There's a part of you that is constantly assessing whether it's safe to be you, safe to ask for your needs to be met. I mean, in this culture, asking for our needs to be met is deemed as weakness. And if we've been taught that message, and we're taught that over and over again, we don't want to look weak, so we don't ask for our needs to be met. But what if we were to say, you know what, our needs matter? In fact, everybody that's watching right now, just take a breath into that. Like, your needs matter. Your voice needs to be heard. What's important to you is important. And yet underneath it, you might be going, yeah, but who's going to love me in this 50, 60-year-old body? I'm not as pretty as I used to be. If I express I need something differently in my household, my partner may not be thrilled. I mean, and so we want to keep the peace. So at the end of the day, we need to uncover our fears of why are we acting this way? Because if we stopped acting this way, things would really shift.
So there are many ladies in this beautiful sisterhood now who participated in the 15-day hormone reset, and we have a day on relationship, right? And they have really shaken things up in their relationship. They have really put a stake in the ground and said, this is not working for me anymore.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to use some of these tools that Robin has taught, and I'm going to get a better relationship. So they're primed and ready
Mm-hmm.
to take charge, right? Because it's a very passive aggressive place that I was in,
Mm-hmm.
Feeling really resentful, doing too much, being worn out, and really grumpy about it. And,
Yes.
my husband having no clue why, right? And so, deciding not to live like that anymore, I think that is a big first step. But then also, deciding that you don't want that type of relationship anymore. And we have to get to that place. And one of the other things that I teach is that we have to take responsibility for all of our relationships. So, these tools that Junie teaches are incredible for doing that. So share about, is this a good time to ask like another question of the ladies listening?
Sure. In fact, it will tie into what you just said. Putting a stake in the ground and saying, I want something different. I want to stop this and have something different and have that awareness that something's not working, that does shake us up, because we have to like really stand in that power of, yeah, I want to do something differently. And that is the first step. And there's this risk manager in the back going, I don't know, if you really do this, this might cause some challenge. So a good question to ask is, if you really stand in your desire, stand in that I want to change my body and my health and take it to the next level, what might be risky for you? What might change for you that might be uncomfortable? Maybe there's a part of you that's going, well, how do I go out to dinner now and eat the foods that I love? I don't want to let go of X, Y, or Z. Maybe there's a part of you that thinks, oh, I don't know if I could really do it. I've tried these things before. Like, what are the creepy crawlies in the background? So what's at risk for you to fully say yes to this next step with Robin and your health? So what is risky if you actually go for it? Because we need to shine a light on what you're scared might happen, not just the good stuff, because the good stuff is good. What's scary of what might happen that might be challenging for you, might be hard for you? I think that's a good question to uncover.
That's a really good question. Yeah. So if you decide that you want to have a different relationship with yourself, if you decide that you want to have a different relationship with others, right? That you want to show up as you are, fully and completely.
Right.
You know, what are you afraid of?
Right. If I really ask for my needs to be met, what might happen? I may not get my needs met. Maybe I'm going to see certain people aren't going to be there for me.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe I'm going to feel so vulnerable and I'm going to be uncomfortable about sharing my vulnerable self. So what is it that might happen? What's scary about really saying yes to you and deep self-care and deep love for you? What might happen that is scary for you?
Yeah, I kind of had to hit rock bottom in my health and my relationship to just say, I really could care less what's at risk here.
Totally.
I was like, I don't really care anymore. Like, if who I am isn't right, then so be it.
Exactly.
But I had to also get more comfortable with myself,
Right.
because we learn what we're taught. So I was learning behaviors from my mother, right? She was very passive aggressive. She didn't, my parents never communicated well. So that's what I learned.
Yeah.
I learned to keep everything to myself and be miserable.
Yep. Until that was just too much. And then you're like, something has to change. And that's the wake up call. And hopefully we don't have to hit rock bottom. But I hit rock bottom, 200 pounds and miserable. I got it. It's like, that's it. I'm going to do whatever it takes. And I had to let go of my marriage ultimately, because he wasn't going for the ride. There was no way I was going to be bullied anymore. Because he was a bully. There was no way I was going to keep my mouth shut anymore. And I really was going to stand up for my kid in a way that I didn't stand up before, which was painful to see, that I didn't stand up for my kid the way I wished I could, but I couldn't. I didn't have the tools. I didn't have the muscles. And that's where we start, is going, ouch, this sucks. I need to do something differently. And that's the beginning of the journey, for sure.
Yeah, that's so amazing. And I think what's even more amazing is that we tolerate it, that we tolerate not living our best lives.
Yeah.
Because of the fear.
Yeah.
So it'll be really wonderful to see what you've posted is your main fear around showing up as you really are. What's your fear around that? And what would happen if you face that fear? What would happen if I always look at, I'm the A to B gal. So, I just want the steps to learn anything, to get anywhere. It's like, how do I get from here, like a really shitty relationship, to a really fabulous one? Like, what are the steps,
Mm-hmm.
And that's something I could not get from a counselor. I was so frustrated in counseling. But I did find, a coaching mentor eventually that just said, here are the steps, right? Here's how you do relationship. Yep. And that was so helpful. But that's what we need. We need those steps to figure it out. And we have to be willing for, I think where I was going with this is if plan A doesn't work, then I go to plan B, right? If plan B doesn't work, I go to plan C. It's like, I don't really care. Like, I just look at worst case scenario. And if I can live with that, like, it's a go.
Yep. Yep. Have your eye on the prize and keep moving.
Yeah.
And yeah, therapy has its place. And I learned a lot from therapy. However, neck up, I understood a lot, but I wasn't able to transform my life. And that's, when the women come to me, I work primarily with single women that are starting over, though I work with people in relationships as well. I'm a relationship coach more than anything. It's about love across the board. However, when women come to me and say, I want to find my partner, tell me what to do. What do I do online? What are the A, B, C? And I go, I could tell you A, B, and C about online dating. I could give you great strategies that will save you time and energy, and definitely call in a very different person. And if you haven't emptied out the past, if you haven't healed those shadows, you're going to attract the same guy, you're going to fall down the same rabbit hole, and you're going to have the same relationship that you had before. So I'm like, let's start with getting you right. And it comes with that self-love and that clarity about what is it that we desire? How do we want to be? What kind of relationship would make us happy when we wake up in the morning? I'm so glad that you were able to ride the storm of that resentment and that shift for you, for your marriage. That's like, whew, good for you. I'm always envious of people that were able to go the distance. My partner, my husband, and I didn't. We're still really good friends, but
that's what I tell women. Like you can go the distance if you both really want it.
Both.
You have to both really want it. And I was ready at any moment to let go.
Yep.
Any moment. Like, you don't want this? Fine. We're done. Right. You want this? Then we have to do the work.
Yep.
Right. So we both really wanted it. And so then you can do the work. Right.
That's beautiful.
You're still holding space for that other person.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you were saying some really important things, and I wanted to follow up on that, because what Junie is talking about is really like loving yourself. This is about love, and it's really like getting to know yourself and loving yourself and letting go of that perception of yourself that doesn't serve you anymore, right? That never really served you, but you held on to it because you didn't know any better. But now working with Junie, like you would know how to show up authentically, how to let go of what's not working you, what's not serving you, how to uncover those things. Like, because sometimes we just don't know, they're just all these unconscious behaviors that we're participating in that don't serve us. So that, like, you have to get in a really place of beautiful love for yourself.
Yeah.
So that you can then like figure out who you want to attract, which I'm sure is part of your work, right?
Yeah.
Like, okay, now, like, who do you want to attract? And then, that vibrant, beautiful self of yours is going to just attract the perfect right person.
Right. And people say they want intimacy, and I say, into me, see. If you don't know who you are and you want to let somebody in, you need to know who you are. And you need to be able to have that balance of what you allow in. I call it strategic vulnerability, the ability to open up in a way that's conscious, that isn't so risky, because it's not just about, okay, I'm going to just share everything. It's how to share, how to show up. And it starts with getting healthier boundaries and really taking deep self-care so that you really can let somebody in. Quick story, I had a client that worked with me in my program. And when she came to me, one of the things she said was, I don't think any man has ever loved me. They've never really told me that they loved me. And when working with her, what we found out was her self-esteem, her sense of love for herself, was non-existent. And people did tell her they loved her, but she couldn't take it in. She didn't believe them. She didn't trust them. This guy is saying, I love you. What's he about? Why is he saying that? I don't believe that, because she didn't believe it. And so we really needed to uncover, empty out. And now she's in a 2-year relationship after working with me for several months. She met this guy, and 2-year relationship, and she's so happy now. But before she was able to reach well, to connect more beautifully with somebody, to be able to have that deep connection, she had to have it first for herself because she couldn't see it.
Yeah.
She couldn't
Yeah.
see it. It didn't exist for her.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh my gosh. Okay. So let's say that I just want to talk Valentine's Day for a minute, since this is
Yeah.
all about love.
Mhm.
So let's say that you're by yourself for Valentine's Day.
Yeah.
What are some things that you suggest? Because we had pleasure day, right? For the 50-day hormone reset. What are some things that you suggest that ladies do to make it like a really special day full of love?
Absolutely. I always say date yourself. Date yourself first. Get to know yourself first. And so give yourself the most amazing date. I did this exercise years ago, and I was single at the time. And even though I still have my little date nights with myself sometimes, and it was a prompt in a workshop I was doing. And what would you love to drink? What kind of music would you love to hear? What's your favorite dessert? Create the date of your dreams with yourself. And when I tell you, I had the most ridiculously delicious dessert. I still want to go back and find the place. It was so good. And I danced and I had the most beautiful evening. And then I solo pleasured, self-pleasured. And I had the most amazing orgasm. And orgasm does not come easily for me. It was amazing. And it it doesn't have to have sex. It's just, what would your ideal date be like? And again, it's about focus. We could focus on, I'm by myself, no one loves me, I can't believe I had this trajectory, what are we telling ourselves? Or I'm about to have the most amazing date, and I'm going to feed myself the most delicious food and watch my favorite movie and play and dance. And so that's my suggestion, is how can you make this day so special for you? Because at the end of the day, it is about your relationship with you. And then you can train other people to give to you what you love.
Yeah, I love that, Junie. So that's something that you teach, I'm sure, how to train other people to better support you. I love
Absolutely.
that.
Absolutely.
That's what we have to do. Like, we have to train those around us to support us better, right?
And they have to be willing to be trained. I mean, I'm training, but my partner, I mean, like, we wouldn't be together if he wasn't willing to be coached, and I don't do it like, it's like, honey, you know what would make me so happy, and he listens because he loves me and he wants to show up for me. So we need to know what floats our boat, and then we could gently and directly, because we do sideways stuff, directly go, honey, this would make me so happy. Can we go out, or can we do this thing? Or, when you do this thing, I would love it to look like this. Is that possible? Such a different energy than, you're not doing anything for me. And comes from within.
Yeah, what's the matter with you?
What's wrong with you? Yes, you should know this by now. Don't you read my thoughts? Don't you see how miserable I am?
Oh my gosh, Judy, those are the exact words I used to use. I'm sure.
Me too. Me too.
And so what is I'd love for you to post right here in the comments. What is one thing that you would like to do for yourself on Valentine's Day that you think would be so yummy and delicious? Just one thing, because we need some ideas here so that the ladies, when they look at this, they're like, oh, that looks like so much fun.
Right. Oh, I love it.
Recipe. You could post your favorite song. You could post anything that feels really good. Like when you were talking about that, I would definitely take a bath. I would start my night out with a bath, with a candle and some beautiful music, and some, magnesium salts and some beautiful essential oil in my bath. And yeah, have some beautiful food. I'd probably have, some nice oil for after my bath. And flowers. Oh my gosh.
Right. Make your environment beautiful. Like this is for you. And the other thing is, you could have a Valentine's party. I did that last year. I had an event called Valentine's Day. And well, it was an event. And you can do it with your friends. Think about your single friends or women that you might want to share some time with too. Give yourself the pleasure of connecting with your sisters, and maybe have a dance party with your sisters, have a glass of wine or whatever makes you happy. So there's so many options. Yeah, definitely post it in the comments. I think that's wonderful.
I love the Valentine's Day. So I'm like, what is gals, right? With your girlfriend.
Yes.
Valentine's Day. And yeah, you could get on Zoom together. And I love the dance party idea.
Yeah. So many ideas. Yeah. I can't wait to see what everybody posts. That's awesome.
Yeah, so much fun. Oh my gosh. Okay. So Junie, tell us, is there anything else that you want to share? Because I really want the ladies to know about this wonderful opportunity for them to I think that 2021 is the year that you get whatever you want. Like, decide what that is. What is it that you want and need? And then figure out how to get it.
Yeah.
Like, what are you waiting for? Let's stop putting things on the back burner. It's, especially now, like, so we haven't really talked into dating right now. Like it's a scary thing. Like we're talking a lot about love and magnetizing love. So it's about definitely getting our stuff together, but it's also, there are a lot of ladies who are going to want to find someone.
Yeah.
Right. And how do you do that in these times?
It's actually an interesting time. And in the event, my Love-a-thon, which we're going to talk about in a couple of minutes, I actually bring in a dating guru who talks about online dating and how to have success online. And she talks about COVID and how to manage it. People are meeting people. Everybody has to have their comfort level. If this is a time to just, nope, I don't want to go out or do anything at all, go in. This is a great time to do that inner work, to get prepared. This is a time for preparation for when the doors open again. And with that said, it's slowing the process down because we can't just go for a coffee date. Most of us don't want to do that. And so people are meeting online and they're getting to know each other. It's just slowing the whole journey of getting to know each other down. And then some people, I've met people that, some of my clients, some of the people I've been talking to are meeting people when they feel that comfort level. And guess what? Here's the other cool thing. With COVID, we have our boundaries, we have our comfort level. And when we tell that person, yes, I would love to meet you. However, this is how I'm doing COVID. I definitely want a mask on. I definitely want 6 feet, whatever your parameters are, see how they respond. This is a great opportunity to like see how they're doing COVID. How are they stressing? Are they positive? Are they negative? Are they in their fear? Are they going to meet you with what's important to you? And it's an opportunity for you to express what is important to you. So people are meeting, people are getting into relationships. So it is an opportunity. There's an opportunity here. And it's also an amazing time to just go, okay, wait a second. I'm just going to work on me right now. And in a few months, maybe I'll go back online. So yeah, in the Love-a-thon, we have this amazing guest that shares so many golden nuggets on how to be effective and safe during COVID.
Yeah, I know a lot of people have met some special people during this time. Yeah. It's kind of fun. I mean, what else do we have to do? I don't know. The time to get intimate. Okay, so share about your amazing event coming up. How can we get involved?
Okay, so it's called Magnetize More Love in Midlife. That is the official title of this training, this event. And I call it a Love-a-thon because it's all about love. And I think it's spectacular, but if and when you click the link that we're going to provide, you will see a great video. Watch the video because you'll hear from all the participants from last time. They loved it so much. And so it is a 7-day Facebook, similar to what you just did with your program. It's a 7-day Facebook experience. And I'm talking to you about how to unpack and get that confidence and clarity and feel better about yourself, lower the volume of your inner critic and feel strong and clear about who you are and how to really feel that yummy, juicy self. And I bring in amazing guests, of which this woman is one of them. And I have that love guru, the dating guru that is going to talk about online dating. I have someone who's going to be talking about sacred solo sex. So we're going to get into sacred sexuality, healthy boundaries across the board. So lots of tools for your toolbox. So at the end of the 7 days, you're going to feel so much more hopeful and excited about your love life. You're going to have a really good boost to your confidence. And you will have like gotten rid of a lot of the doubt and the fears. That's the overall journey of the Love-a-thon.
It sounds amazing. I love the part. Well, I love all of it, because I mean, I can't really think of a woman who this is not for. Like we need to be working on ourselves all the time.
Yep.
Like I'm always thinking, how can I show up better? Right? How can I show up better for my partner? Right?
Yeah.
Because I want our relationship to be so connected.
Yeah.
Like I really want that connection, and so yeah, I just think it just sounds amazing. And I really love the part about, I can't remember exactly how you said it, but like, up leveling your intimacy with yourself. Is that what?
Well, I'm not sure. I'm not sure what you referred to, but I say the intimacy or into me see, to be able to feel better about who you are and let go of the shame and feel just more confident. Now, listen, I want to just share that.
It was the sensual part.
The what?
It was the sensual part. You have a guest coming.
Oh, sacred solo sex. Yes.
Oh, that sounds amazing.
So sacred sexuality. Yeah. So we're gonna dive into the intimacy and get comfortable with our bodies. I have a great presenter is going to talk about balance in the bedroom, about masculine and female energy and how to do that exchange and be able to be the queen that you are. And I just want to just say that it is focused. How do I put this? When you look at the page, and I hope you do, whether you're partnered or not, you're going to see a bunch of things about being single. But this event really is for anybody. If you're a woman and you're 40 plus, you are welcome, because as you just said, Robin, all of the pieces other than the online dating really will support you in having a much healthier, happier, and hotter relationship with yourself and with your partner or partner to be.
I love that. So Rebecca is on with us, and please post the link, Rebecca, so that ladies can take a look and sign up. And is there a charge for your event?
There's not. It's a free event. I mean, people do have the option to upgrade for an access pass that gives some extra bonuses with that for $21, but the whole thing is free. And there's replays if you can't make it. It's very accessible.
Yeah. Wow. That is such a beautiful gift. Thank you.
You're so welcome. I'm thrilled to do it. It's a great, and it's fun. That's the other thing. It's not like, oh my God, I have to work on my inner critic. Oh my God, this is so painful. It really is fun. And the women just lift each other up. There's so much love. It truly is a love-a-thon. It's great.
Yeah. Wonderful. Oh my gosh. Well, thank you so much for sharing that with this beautiful community, because we all need more love in our lives. And that's something that I strive for every day, is just showing up in service in a place of better love and connection, because that's what makes life so amazing. Really just up levels your life in such a powerful way.
To me, there's nothing more important than love, and I stand for love. And when we have that inside of us and we're able to really connect deeply with ourselves and then connect with others, to me, that's the answer to world peace. To me, that's the answer to everything. And it starts with us. We need to take care of ourselves first.
Thank you so much for being here with us today. It's just such a joy talking about love. I just love it. It's my favorite topic.
Mine too. And thank you so much for having me. You're just so amazing. I just love what you're offering to these women. And to me, like I said, there's nothing more important than love. And at the end of the day, if we're not feeling well, if we're not feeling vibrant and healthy, everything falls to the wayside. So, it's great work that you're doing, Robin. I'm so grateful to know you and see you doing what you're doing in the world.
And same with you. And it starts with loving ourselves. So be sure to sign up for Junie's program, and let's all give her big kisses for Junie. Mwah. Big hearts for Junie. Oh,
Back
such a
to
good.
you. Back to you. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, everyone. It's been amazing being with you here today for Hormone Breakthrough Wednesday. We're back. I know we took a little bit of a break to do the 15-day hormone reset, but now we're back and I will see you right here again next Wednesday. All right. Sending you all so much love. Bye for now.